Today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful yet often invisible psychological forces out there. It's something that quietly shapes our success, our motivation, and yeah, even our happiness. And it all starts with one big question. I mean, have you ever wondered about this? You see two people face the exact same challenge. One person dusts themselves off, learns from it, and just keeps pushing. The other, they just throw their hands up and walk away. What's the deal? It's a huge question about what makes us tick, and the answer, well, it's probably not what you think. See, the difference usually isn't about talent or smarts or even resources. Nope, it's about something deeper, a kind of hidden mindset that influences every single thing we do. And this invisible force, it has a name. It's called your locus of control. Now I know, that might sound a little academic maybe, but I promise you, getting your head around this one idea can be a total game changer. So what on earth does that actually mean? Well, to put it simply, it's about where you believe the power in your life lies. Do you feel like you're the one in charge, that the power is internal? Or do you feel like it's external, in the hands of things like fate, luck, or other people? And this one core belief basically splits people into two different camps. In one camp, you have the internal locus of control. That's the I control my destiny mindset. And in the other camp, you've got the external locus of control. That's the my destiny controls me mindset. It seems like a small difference, right? But it creates two completely different realities. To make this super clear, let's bring these ideas to life. Let's think of them as two different characters, the captain and the passenger. So first up, meet the captain. This is the person who feels like their hands are firmly on the steering wheel of their life. Yeah, they know storms will come, but they fundamentally believe that their choices and their effort are what will get them where they want to go. And then you've got the passenger. The passenger feels like they're just in a boat with no oars, being tossed around by the waves. They see life as something that just happens to them, and they feel like they have almost no say in where they end up. So let's look at what's going on in their heads. The captain, they take responsibility. They believe they can actually influence what happens next, and because of that, they feel empowered. The passenger, on the other hand, often feels like a victim of circumstance. They think things are just out of their control, and that leaves them feeling pretty powerless. This isn't just a mood, it's their whole way of seeing the world. Okay, so we have these two very different worldviews, but where the rubber really meets the road is when things get tough. Let's see what happens when our two characters hit the exact same roadblock.
Let's imagine a really difficult puzzle is placed in front of both of them. It's complex, it's frustrating, and it's going to take some real effort to solve. For both of them, the situation is identical.
So what does the passenger do? Their first reaction is to look for an external reason for the struggle. They blame the puzzle itself. It's not fair, it's designed badly, it's just too hard. By making the problem about the puzzle, they give themselves an out. It's not their failure, it's the puzzle's fault.
But the captain, they see that exact same difficult puzzle, and their brain just goes to a different place. Their first thought isn't about blame, it's about action. Okay, how can I figure this out? They believe that their strategy, their focus, their sheer persistence, that's what's going to make the difference. So they just get to work.
And this right here creates this incredible upward spiral. The captain acknowledges the challenge, they put in the effort, and they get a result. And in doing that, they don't just solve the puzzle, they prove to themselves, yet again, that they're in control. This builds their confidence, it builds their skills, and they basically level up for whatever comes next. So what's the big takeaway here? It's not just about slapping a label on yourself and saying, I'm a captain or I'm a passenger. The most important part is realizing that we actually have the power to choose our mindset.
Because here's the absolute truth of it. The outcome of the puzzle was never about how difficult it was. It was completely determined by the belief system each person brought to the table. The real battle is won or lost in your own head before you even start.
And that is why this is such a superpower. Just by understanding the idea of locus of control, you can start to notice your own patterns. The next time you hit a roadblock, you can actually stop and ask yourself, wait a minute, am I being a passenger right now? How would a captain handle this? And that simple awareness, that's the first step to grabbing the wheel.
And that brings us to the final question, the one that really matters. As you go about your day, think about this. In your job, in your relationships, in all your goals, who's steering your ship?